Hello, today I'm going to be talking to you about our class. I am Sandy Oliver, and this is our University Studies and Educational Technologies Humanities 115 Critical Thinking class. I'm going to walk through the syllabus like we would normally do on a first day, and I want you to follow along in your syllabus. So if you have not um, printed that out or you don't have it saved to your device, pause me, go do that, come back. Okay. So this semester, I'll give you the short version overall, and then we'll walk through things step by step. This is critical thinking. We do some logic and some literature and some philosophy, a little bit of everything. I tell people all the time, and I love this class because of that. But we're going to do 3 papers, each about 3 pages. And I'll have you do rough drafts and stuff before you do the final draft. There'll be a video. There's an assignment sheet, so you have all the helps there. And you can always email me and let me know, if you're having trouble or you have a question or whatever. I have my JCC email on my phone, so don't stress. The other thing is we have 4 exams, tests, for the semester, and aside from this section that I call big words, they're not cumulative, so they're about this particular set of chapters. The first test is on chapters 1 through 3, the second one is 4 through 6, the third one is 7 and 8. That's our most technical section of the book, and it's all about deductive reasoning, so give it its own spot. And then the fourth test is all about inductive reasoning, and that's chapters 9 through 12. And so we'll have some weekly work. There's a video that kind of walks through those individually, but we do reading logs, basically your notes on that chapter or that section of the chapter for the more technical sections, and chapter exercises, kind of walking through at least a sampling of the concepts that we've done in that particular chapter, and then discussion board. The discussion board quotes sometimes are related to what we do in class, and sometimes they're related to something else I want to do for class. And so your job in those is a response. So what do you think about this, and what does it mean, and how do you work with it? And then you'll do 2 replies to your classmates' posts to get full credit for those. Like I said, there's another video that's the weekly work video, and that'll help you figure out individual assignments. There are also separate folders, for lack of a better word, in our Blackboard course. Under course information and the major assignments, there's a section on the weekly work that will give you a rundown and some examples and things like that, so you're not playing in the dark. Like you feel like you are when you're in an online course, especially at the beginning. So I hope I've set up enough helps and things for you, but if you have more questions, of course, email me and we'll figure things out. Okay, syllabus, page 1. This is the kind of boring detail page. This is critical thinking class for Humanities 115. You need to be ready to take English 111 if you're in this course, but you don't necessarily have to have any writing course background to get through things. I give you lots of help, and I'm aware that not everybody has had English 111 or any English classes yet. I don't have an office, but my husband does. He is the computer information technology instructor. He's over in Wilson 2048. You can drop things off for me there if you really have to. Most all of our stuff should be done on Blackboard, but sometimes, I don't have an office or office hours because I'm an adjunct, and they don't give me those things, and we're all online, so it's kind of weird to be, making you come to campus for things. So email me whenever you have questions or problems or just need to kind of touch base. This particular course is based on critical thinking and around the idea of human interaction, and we are fairly cool with logic and philosophy and that kind of stuff. So, we have things. The big deal here on page 2 is the book. You need, let me see if I can reach a copy. You need to make sure you have your hands on this, okay, as soon as possible. If you don't already have it in your hands, get it today, get it tomorrow, get it first thing. All of our source work, all of our fodder for homework and exams and all of that is in there. That's what I base my lectures off of, and it's where your homework is going to be, so you need to have it now. I know the bookstore does have it, and it has to be the 7th edition. Dr. Vaughn did a big rework, and there are lots of things that are in the 7th version that are not in any of the other versions, and so you need to have the 7th version, 7th edition. And the ISBN and all that is right there. You need to be able to log into Blackboard, to check your email. You need to be able to, basically take notes and write things and post things in the correct format and that kind of stuff. We do not have an ebook. You can buy access to an ebook through University of Oxford Press, but I don't work with that at all. Okay, we work with a paper book. Okay, at least for now. We're going to walk through a lot of different things that you've probably never seen before. Truth tables and Venn diagrams being at the top of that list. So give yourself some time, be patient with your own learning process, and do the work. Okay. On page 3, evaluation methods, we're going to do 3 papers and 4 tests. The reading logs are 10% and the homework is 20. 15% for exercises and drafts and all that kind of stuff, and 5% for the discussion boards. I have to give them some percentage on there. Remember that we don't use points as a grading scale. We use weighted items because some are worth 10%, and then your homework is 20 points, but it works into that 20% of things. I'm going to use Blackboard's math to kind of keep you updated through the semester. Your current Blackboard BB grade is an estimate. Blackboard does really good math, but they can be off by up to a point or two, and they're only accurate if you're up to date. So if you're behind in any of your work, the grade you see there is going to be a bit more optimistic than you should be. I tell my students, use your critical thinking skills. If you look at your grade and it says you have a 97, but you haven't turned in the last 3 major assignments, do you really have a 97? Because that's a no. Okay, be reasonable on things. If you need, for whatever reason, me to do, hey, I need to know my grade like right now, I can do that for you. But Blackboard is only going to count things that you've turned in based out of how many points that were worth. So it's a little bit funky that way. Final course grades go to WebAdvisor or self-service, depending upon where we are in the transition. And so the Blackboard grade, again, is an estimate. Okay. I make every effort to grade and post your grades within a week of the assignment date. Some things I have to do faster than that because we have a turnaround, and I do my best on that as well, like you do your best to get your stuff in on time. So give each other grace, we'll be good. If I've added any notes on the grade, it'll be underlined, and that's a hyperlink. You can just go click on that and it'll take you to the comments that I made on that particular paper or assignment or whatever. Pay attention to those. Sometimes it's just, yay, good work, or something like that, but a lot of times it is, look more closely at the directions for, exercise 2, because this is not what they were asking for. So there's that thing. Please check your email often, regularly, get on schedule, check it every Monday afternoon. okay, at least. And then during the week, as much as you can. And I know y'all think email is for old people. Email is also for professional um, communication, and this is a professional communication kind of thing. So we need to keep things on the school's email. Um, if you have a different email address and you email me from that, I will let it do the reply, but I will also link it to your school email so it's all there. Okay. Um, a couple of critical success strategies. Basically, you need to do your work. Of course, you know that from all your other years in school. And you need to stay on top of the due dates. I see the work week as Monday through Thursday. Um, we have three major religions here in the United States, and they have as their holy days either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And so I try not to make it seem like you have to work on your holy day. That is totally up to you. My due dates are Thursday because I want to be able to grade and post and things and not have to work on my holy day. So I don't want to make your work due Sunday night like a lot of my colleagues do, because I'm not, hopefully, not going to be on the computer on Sundays. That's my holy day. And so I want to give you the same grace. So if you have to wait until the weekends to do your work because you work full time and you have kids and all that other fun stuff, that's great. Work a week ahead, not a week behind. Okay, this first week, I don't count things late, which means I don't take off points if you don't get them in on time. Um, and a lot depends upon books and all that kind of fun stuff too. But I want you to be practicing and working in your book in the first week. So, you know, um, my my thoughts on things. I wish I didn't have to put deadlines on, that everybody would just do their work and move on. But a lot of us need that prompt. Hey, this week you have to do these things. Schedule your time accordingly. You've made a commitment to be in a college class. So now you need to make a commitment to finish said college class with your best results. Um, and anything you have questions on, you need to email me. Okay. Um, to be successful in Humanities 115, you need to read and study the book material. You need to post things on time, and you need to follow the directions. That's a hard thing for a lot of folks, and I know that, but practice, follow directions. Okay, see what you can get through. It'll probably, what I tell my students, online students, all the time is the first 3 hours you spend in class every week belong to me. And by that, I mean, I want you to watch the videos. I have videos for every chapter, for all the book, for all the papers, and for all the tests. And so I want you to watch those first and get that done, and then work on your assignments. They're due on Thursday night by 11:59 p.m., and you have all the stuff you need to do them. Um, don't wait until 11 o'clock on Thursday to start your work. Um, I can't even finish the work for a week in an hour. That's ridiculous. So, okay, give yourself some time, figure out what you need to do. If you need to read, if you read more slowly than a lot of folks, it's going to take you longer. If you're a quick reader, great, fine. Remember, you're taking notes, and I need to see those, some sort of representation of the chapter or section of chapter as a turn in for reading logs. I do take late work. We all have things that get in the way of school occasionally, and that's okay, as long as it's just occasionally. Like I said before, you made a decision to take a college class, and so now you need to actually work through that. So if your work is late, you lose 10%. Okay, that's it, just 10%. So most of my homework assignments are worth 20 points, so the highest you can get is an 18. That's still an A, but you've lost 2 points. Now, if you know, hey, I had plans to work on this at this time, something happened and I couldn't do that, I'm going to need an extra day. Could I turn in my chapter 3 on Saturday. Sure. Okay. But you have to ask for the extension. And then don't do it very often, because after a while I'll say, no, sorry, you're not committed. Okay. You haven't made a commitment to the class. And whether that's true or not, that's how it comes across. So there we are. I also have 3 big deadlines where there are certain things that you need to have done by that point, or they turn into zeros. And they're listed on the weeks that we have. If you look at the weekly work or weekly lessons, I think is the click, it'll give you a whole page of here's week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Kind of scroll down that main page and you can see where those big deadlines are. And it'll tell you basically which assignments die at that point. And then we move on from there. And so I don't want to be grading reading log 1 the last day of class. Okay, you don't need to be doing reading log 1 the last day of class. Do your work as we go along. It'll be fine. Okay. But our due dates are usually Thursdays by 11:59 p.m. Thanksgiving week, our due date is Tuesday, because we're only in classes Monday and Tuesday. But I try not to make that too onerous on you. Make sure that you know how to save your work as a docx or a JPG or a PDF. If you have no idea what those are, check in your list of documents that you have and see what the last little bit after the dot is. Okay, figure it out. I'm going to say that without meanness or anything, but there are certain things that I can help you with and certain things that you just have to figure out how it works on your device. Okay, whatever you're working through. Mainly because Blackboard doesn't let me open anything but pretty much those 3. So that's what we're given. Okay, page 5, attendance. So how do we take attendance in an online class? Well, you have to post things, right? You have to post homework and things every week. And as long as you post one thing that is due that week, you get your attendance. Okay, it's like you showed up to class and you did what we did in class and you're great. Okay, now you should always do more than that. You should always try to finish all the work that's assigned for every week. And that should go without saying, but you'd be surprised. You have to participate weekly. If something gets in the way of that, you're ill, your kid's ill, your parents are ill, whatever your particular home mess is, let me know and I can postpone one. After that, you get an absence. The absence policy here at JCC is basically every time you miss class is an absence, regardless of what it is. And that's partly because you have 2 weeks of absences before you get kicked out of class. And that goes for pretty much every class. 2 weeks, the equivalent of 2 weeks. Our class runs the whole semester, so it's just 2 weeks. If you miss a 3rd week, and it doesn't have to be 3 weeks in a row, you can miss a week, come back, miss another week, come back, miss another week, and I have to drop you. Now, like I said before, if there's something going on, COVID, all those kinds of fun, horrible things, then we can work around some things, but not for very much, and not if you don't keep me in the loop. You have to post at least one academic assignment each week, and other than that, you should keep up with the work as much as possible. Now, I know I had COVID in July, just last month, and I'm still recovering, really, and it takes a lot out of you. And there were a lot of days where, getting out of bed was a huge accomplishment. And so I want you to know that I understand how this works. I also have multiple autoimmune diseases, and so I don't leave my house a whole lot. But even before COVID, but since COVID, woof, be careful. Be very careful. If you're ill at all, you're running a fever, You feel like death, whatever, stay home because nobody else wants it. And keep me in the loop. Let me know, hey, I'm really not doing well today, and I may, get tested or whatever. Um, the home tests work really well, so, do that. But anyway, if you're ill, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to give you an extension. Something else in your life blows up, again, let me know. I'm usually happy to give you an extension. Um, but make sure that school doesn't lose all the time. Okay, it's important. What you're doing here, getting your education, is important. It will make a huge difference in your life going forward. And so I want you to do well. I want you to succeed. I'm not the kind of teacher who tries to see how much she can mess up the students. Um, I don't give busy work, all those things that are just like, why would you do that? And I do care about my students. And so I want you to do well. And at that end, you have to be careful with your health. You have to, eat well and hydrate and sleep. Sleep is important. And so there's all those things that work into attendance. The other thing you need to know is that if you have a holy day coming up that's not on the weekend, um, and you're going to need time away for that, it's not as big a deal for us in the online realm because you could do your work at a different time and turn it in and get counted. But if you're, in a seated class, you need to let your instructors know at least 2 weeks in advance. Hey, I've got this. This is a holy observance I have to do, and so I'm going to be out of class on Wednesday. Okay. Just make sure you give notice first. Okay. There may be other things you need to do for individual instructors, but that's the rule. We have a few things I need to tell you here at the end. I'm on page 6. We have the Jaguar writing portal, and it's not just for English class. We have papers in this class, and if you want some extra outside help with that, you can work through them. Their turnaround time is usually the same day, but they have officially 48 hours. And so if they get slammed, it's going to be 2 days before you get your work back. So make sure that you're making that allowance as well. And there's other, explanation in there. There's also the early alert and retention system called EARS, where we can do progress reports and kind of help students find out when they're not doing what they should be doing. We have a couple during the semester that are required of us for certain student populations, and it just depends upon whether your name gets picked, I think. And so we have to do progress reports for that. I love writing, yay, they're getting 100%, they're a wonderful student. That's a progress report. That's a very good thing. So keep that in mind, and you'll get an email, a rather form letter kind of email that lets you know that's happened. And I don't know much after that on the student side of it. So keep watch your email for those things. And I'll put a little note up in the weekly announcement. Hey, we're doing progress reports this week. Keep an eye on your email, that kind of thing. There is a list of general campus-wide policies and resources on our syllabus page. This is things like inclement weather and what JCC does for academic dishonesty and a few other dozen things there. The last thing, well, no, next last thing here is student concerns, bottom of page 6. Basically, if you and I have issues, okay, I have done something to offend you, or you think I'm not being fair, your first thing to do is to tell me about it. I will do my best to figure out what went wrong and what I did and how we can fix it. If we can't fix it, then we have to talk to my director, who is Elizabeth Baker. And if the three of us can't figure things out, then we have to go to the dean. She's actually the associate vice president, who is Don Dixon. And so that's kind of the up the ladder thing. So talk to me first. I will tell you up front, I try really hard not to offend people, but it does happen. I'm human. And I try really hard to be more than fair. But if that didn't happen, then I need to know that I didn't meet that goal. Let me know. I'm more than happy to apologize, ask for forgiveness, and restore the relationship there. On page 7, you have kind of how to get a hold of people. Me, you have to email me because that's the only official thing I have with the college. Elizabeth Baker, her information, and Don Dixon's information as well. The actual last thing is our new quality enhancement plan, QEP. You'll see this all over campus. It's called Pace Yourself, Progression, Advising, and Campus Engagement for the First Year. And basically, it's a way to get new students to understand and to know what their resources are. Because a lot of times, especially with a community college, I think because nobody lives on campus, you need to have kind of some highlight things done or done for you. And so this is a plan to help you engage more with the culture and the campus and know what your resources are there, and a little bit of everything. They have some fun dates coming up in the beginning of the semester, some things that you can go to, and there's usually food, so that's helpful. Figure out, kind of how this place works. It's especially helpful, I think, if you're a first generation college student like me. I didn't know anything about college because none of my family went, and didn't help that I was living 5,000 miles away from home at the time too. So, but the point here is to give you access and show you what's already there to help you. There are some additional things that they've done for the QEP, and it's a really good program. So if you can, avail yourself of that. Okay, that's the syllabus. The other thing I want to walk through fairly quickly is basically our major assignments on the course schedule. Our class runs Monday, August 15th through Monday, December 12th. All your stuff for my class, the leftovers and everything that's due at the end, is due by noon on Monday. No extensions, because my grades for the class are due on Tuesday by 10 a.m. So that's as late as I can let it run. Exam 1 will cover chapters 1 through 3. The due date, and you have access to this on our Blackboard page. If you look under course information, major assignments, click on that link, and the first page you're going to see is this handout that I'm walking through right now. Exam 1 will cover chapters 1 through 3. The due date for the exam will be Thursday, September 8th. You'll get a study guide with this. I've made a video for it, and you have all kinds of good stuff there. Paper 1, Taking Sides in an Argument, has 3 parts. The summaries of your articles will be due Thursday, September 1st. The rough draft will be due Thursday, September 15th. And the final draft will be due Thursday, September 29th. There's a week in between each. They're scheduled 2 weeks apart so that I have time to get to them and give you comments, and you have time to revise before you have to actually turn in the next thing. And like I said, there's a video for each of these, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining, because, this is already almost half an hour. Okay, exam 2 will cover chapters 4, 5, and 6, and the due date will be Thursday, October 6th. You'll get a study guide and a video, and this is one of those first big deadlines. And by all of your work, late and makeup work from chapters 1 through 6 will be due on Thursday the 29th by 11:59 p.m. or they turn into zeros. Okay, well, I have to manually go in and make them zeros, but you know what I mean. I won't take things after that. And then paper 2, which is your worldview paper, has 3 parts. A questionnaire to kind of get you started thinking down all the things that impact your own worldview. And then a rough draft will be due on Thursday, October 20th, and the final draft will be due Thursday, November 3rd. Exam 3 is chapter 7 and 8. Like I said, this is our big technical aspect of the class. It's also the second deadline where basically you need to be finished with exam 1 and 2 and paper 1. I won't take them after that. It's kind of what the big deadlines are for. It's like, okay, you might have had some exclusions there, extensions there rather, but this is the end of that. And it'll also be the work from chapter 7 and 8. Paper 3 is a critical thinking capstone project. All of the Humanities 115 folks have to do this project in some form or another. I've chosen to do it like we do our papers, and so you have a list of scenarios to choose from, and you have to formulate a plan and research your ideas and present a written report for that. The proposal is going to be due on Thursday, November 17th. The rough draft will be due on Tuesday of Thanksgiving week, the 22nd. So you only have about 5 days in between there, but it's all good. And then the final draft will be due the last Thursday of our class meeting, which is December 8th. And that December 8th is also the final deadline for everything except for the last test. And then exam 4 is going to cover chapters 9 through 12. And this one will be due Monday, December 12th by noon. Noon. You'll have a story to evaluate there as well. The Ones Who Walk Away from Omelas by Ursula Le Guin. And there's a video and practice and all that kind of fun stuff. So anyway, that's the schedule. We've walked through the schedule and the syllabus, and so I hope you are excited and ready and positive that this is going to be a good semester and all of that, and we'll work on from there. Like I said, there's a video for pretty much everything, and I'll make sure that things are up and available for you as soon as possible. So have a great day. If you have questions, email me. You know where I am. Bye.